Well, hello, I'm Frances Sheehan, the Vice Chair of the Board of the Delaware County Interactive Gaming Revenue Authority. I'm calling this meeting to order at 2:00 p.m. and we rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to call roll, Paul Johnson, Chair.
Present.
Stefan Roots, Treasurer.
Here.
Vincent Rongioni.
Present.
Paul Evans, Secretary.
Ron Evans.
Ron Evans.
I do that all the time. too.
Ron Evans.
I'm here
Ron
now.
Evans, Secretary. And Frank Daly, Solicitor. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any public comment at this point?
There's no public comment, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 2022 meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Treasurer's report, Mr. Roots.
We're coming right up. Treasurer report will just be a rattle off numbers. March 31st, bank statement, we had an opening balance of $207,525.02. Ending balance $180,031.55. Some checks have been cleared since our last treasurer's report, which actually spanned two statements, our March and our April statement. And we have 3 outstanding checks that have not been cashed. And I will read them out loud. The Delaware County Community College, City of Chester Police Department, and the Aden Borough Police Department. We'll have to follow through on those. I've listed a current bank balance as of April 12th of $161,031.55. That does not include the outstanding checks not cleared.
Any questions? Okay.
Did that make sense, Ron? You have that look.
So not include, that means they are subtracted from
They are
that.
subtracted.
Right.
So if we were to subtract those 3 outstanding checks from.
And I was going to say Ron presented the Delaware County Community College check this morning, which is obviously why it's outstanding.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
There's some other things.
Yep. You have a motion to authorize, can I have a motion to authorize Mr. Roots to reimburse the Daily Law Firm for $145?
Oh, can we make a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Can we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Paul.
Sure.
And can I have a motion to authorize Mr. Roots to reimburse the Daily Law Firm $145? Oh, actually, no, the check is going straight to the Daily Times.
Correct.
May I have a motion to authorize Stefan Roots to pay a bill of $145.19 for the April meeting change notice to the Daily Times?
So moved.
Second.
All in
Either one.
favor?
Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion to authorize Mr. Roots to pay the first quarter 22 invoice of the Daily Law Firm for $2,500?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And
Did you have something you wanted to add, Mr. Johnson?
Oh, no. I just approved the motions.
Okay, super. Do you have a report on the status of the audit?
audit's going very smoothly. I think the most important thing we wanted to know was, or at least from our last meeting, because we are consolidating our audit with the county. Our auditor has spoke with the county, so they're in sync in what's needed. We have taken all of our transactions and put them into the QuickBooks and have developed a accounting terms, but the report that's required.
Mhm.
Somehow I have to find 63 cents. Somehow. There's 63 cents floating out there.
63 cents disappeared.
Oh,
where
well, it's too much. I'm not sure, but we're out of balance by 63 cents.
I feel confident that the auditors will find that 63 cents.
So we worked really well together, getting all that. He's very confident we'll be on schedule to do the testing and get the information required from us to the county on time.
And so what is that timeline to present to the county and then to present our own audit to us?
Most of the county is June. I'm not sure of the final date, but by May, he should have a report to us.
For our May meeting?
For May meeting.
Okay, great. Super. Okay, may we have anything else for your report?
No,
Mr.
thank
Roots?
you.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Daly, do you have a solicitor's report?
Yes, just two housekeeping matters. Our newest member, Vince Rangione, needs to fill out the conflicts policy report, which I just gave to him now. And then we will, one copy goes to our secretary, another copy comes to me.
Okay.
It's just the last 2 pages that you have to sign. One saying you got the policy and you've read it, and the second where you list any conflicts that you might have. We are required to file a state ethics form by April 30th.
Okay.
And Mr. Johnson is mailing his to me. I have Francis's. Ron, I believe you made reference to it.
I just gave it to you before the meeting.
Okay. Stefan, I think we need one from you. You've already filed one with the city of Chester, probably. If you need an extra form, I brought several.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it to you in just a second, because I'm going to repeat. I already gave Vince that form also. So let me find one here. There you are. And most members of the board are taking me up on my offer, which is when you complete it, give it to me, and I will take it to Ms. Coogan, the county clerk, and bring an extra copy that I will have time-stamped and be returned to all members.
Thank you.
And with that, that concludes my report.
Any questions for Mr. Daly? Thank you very much. Okay, so we have a couple of pieces of old business. Do we have any sort of an update about the emergency services grant other than the grant approvals that we're going to be making today?
No, I'll just give a general overview. As Stefan showed, there are 2 checks outstanding to the recipients that we provided during the month of March and April, which were from the 4th quarter of 2021. So that's good that there's only a few outstanding. And the recipients on the list that you're about to see are those applicants that came in from January 1st, 2022 to March 30th, 2022. Other than that, that's the only thing I have for my update at this time.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And regarding our course vector web services, do you have an update regarding the status of that project, Mr. Roots?
Recently received our latest documents for update. That would be our agenda, treasurer's report, minutes of the last meeting, as well as a photo of all of us posed handsomely downstairs in front of county council with the big check to share. I asked if they could make the site live in time for this meeting. I have to honestly confess, I don't know what's not live with our site, because you can go to the website and it pops up. So I don't know what the official live process is. The only answer they could give me is that we're in queue. So
We look live to me.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not in there that is impacting our advertising the youth services grant, is that request for proposal documents not on the site yet. So that's the only thing that I noticed that jumped out that keeps us from advertising the site.
Right. And I haven't requested our solicitor to prepare that
Hmm.
as of yet.
Well, no sense preparing it until it can be actually advertised.
Yeah,
What does it take to prepare it? Isn't it the same document as we did for emergency services that?
Yeah. Yes, I have a draft. I have a draft application with the, I guess, the purpose of the grant, kind of similar to the emergency services grant. I believe I made that available in the past. I can do that again and also share it with Mr. Daly. So then Mr. Daly can prepare the request for proposal. And it appears as though, since our website is 99% virtually live, and we've already authorized him to submit that, we can have him submit that as soon as possible. And then we can put the application, and once he has the RFP, we can put that up on the website.
Did we already approve that RFP? That was my recollection.
I don't recall the RFP being approved, but I recall the ability for the solicitor to create an RFP to submit. So I'll have to go back through the minutes, but I don't think we had an RFP drafted by the solicitor.
That is correct. It will not take much to draft it, but I had not received authority because you were waiting on the website.
And did you draft the emergency services RFP? I thought that Mr. Johnson did that.
Mr. Johnson gave me the guts of it.
Oh, and
Yes.
then you prepared it?
Right.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
I can give him this application, which also has the quote unquote guts that he can use to create the next generation youth services grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that we can advertise the website until we have the document on the website.
The RFP and the application.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Just as
Yeah.
we have the two emergency services documents, having the two.
Right.
Super.
So what I'll do is I will forward everyone the draft application, including Mr. Daly, and he can draft the RFP based off of that document. And then we can make suggestions, and then he could submit the RFP to the Daily Times, since we've already authorized him to do that in a previous meeting.
Okay, so you would need the website company to put those two documents up on the website. That's not something you can do. You'd need them to do that.
I will have them do that, but I'm glad you brought that point up because they have made a provision for us to upload our own documents. There's been a little bit of confusion, which hasn't been settled, but I think it is settled. I just need to confirm. What they sent me earlier was a plugin that's needed.
Right, for a lot of money.
Well, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was, it was money. It was a monthly fee for the plugin. When I replied to them and said we probably won't be purchasing the plugin, the response was, "Oh, it's already on the site. It's already paid for." Not coming out of our dollars. So that's where I have to go back and see what they mean by that, and then it might be as simple as just getting instructions on how to use it. It may already be there. That might be part of the live process that they're talking about. I tell you what, it's really tough doing business with a web developer remotely.
Sure.
It's done in batches and through emails.
Sure.
We're getting it done, and I think they've done a really good job, but this is a new process for me. And it teaches me the value of sitting face to face with someone, especially for a service like this. It's so much more can get done very quickly across the table.
Sure,
than
sure.
Across the emails and the airwaves. But they have a great process. It's just, I don't think it's really conductive for building a website. I think for maintaining moving forward, it works well, but it's been a doll.
Yeah,
It really has.
Thank
I
you
think
for
we're
doing
99% Of the way there.
good. Well, thank you so much for all your effort, because we know it's been very time consuming. Okay, anything else about that topic before we move to new business?
Just quickly to say, I know that I still owe a headshot and bio, which I do have. That's part of the reason that I have my computer with me. You will have it today.
Okay, great.
Super. That's great. Thank you so much, Mr. Branchioni.
Sure.
New business, I need a motion, please, to add up to $1,934.93. Well, can I suggest, I'm going to suggest a reversal of that motion with the, well, I guess we can always take the money back. If we don't approve one of these, then we don't need the-
Madam Chair, I recommend that we move that motion towards the end of the other motions. So
Okay,
I-
super.
I make a motion to change the arrangement of the motions.
Super. Okay. Can I have a second to that motion for Mr. Johnson, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So let's start with the beginning. The following motions are for the 2021 reimbursements, 2022 grants for 13 emergency services organizations in Delaware County via our emergency services reimbursement grant process. This is the second round of grants that we're providing. This is for a total of $25,850.71, which we may or may not approve all of them. The first round was projected to be a total of $51,934.93. So this is a focus on community outreach and/or recruitment. So may I have a motion to approve $1,678.73 reimbursement for Eddystone Fire Company #1, subject to county council approval?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve $2,500 grant for Darby Borough Police Department, subject to county council approval?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve $798.75 reimbursement for Collingdale Borough Police Department, subject to county council approval?
So moved.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve $340.84 reimbursement for Haverford Township Police Department, subject to county council approval?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve $2,219 grant for Radnor Township Police Department, subject to county council approval?
Second.
Okay, this is the one I want to have conversation about. I just want clarity. This is a proposal that involves reimbursing them for costs associated with recruiting police officers. And my understanding, and I am happy to stand corrected, my understanding was that this was an RFP that was designed to encourage community engagement, community fairs, national night out events, and volunteer recruitment, and all the activities associated with volunteer recruitment. I didn't understand it as to be about staff recruitment. And my recollection was that we had a proposal from another, I can't remember if it was police or fire, and it was to reimburse them for the cost of an Indeed account that was to recruit staff, and that we didn't fund them because we weren't funding staff recruitment. But I think, Mr. Johnson, you and I had a little bit of conversation about this, because in your mind, it was about staff recruitment as long as it was about encouraging diverse staff, and that you didn't feel that the Indeed platform was focused enough.
Yep.
Bottom line, I thought we should go back to, just be clear, this was the only one that was different from all the others in that it was about staff recruitment.
So I believe the previous batch of grants did include Indeed recruitment. I don't think, we may not have paid for the account, but I think we did approve the expense for the Indeed advertisements. I think what I was mentioning to you is that this had a wide range. I believe this one had a wide range of recruitment activities, that including looking for officers across a diverse spectrum. And that's why it kind of stood out to me, but I wasn't I wasn't choosing one versus the other. I believe we approved the other one that also included recruitment for paid police officers. There was a grant that did ask for funding of overtime, which is a funding actual employees, and we didn't include that in there. But as far as helping any of these first responding organizations, whether it be a volunteer organization, whether it be a municipal department, the recruitment aspect crossed all those lines. So regardless of whether it was a volunteer or a paid person, especially given the challenges that police departments are finding themselves as far as finding and recruiting police officers. So that was the intent of the original grant. And I don't recall us not approving Indeed applications, but I could be wrong. But
So if worst case scenario, I would suggest that we table this one. And the only reason I say that is that I do think we need clarity on what we funded in the past. I think we should go back and look at that other application and just make sure we're consistent. And in my mind, if this was about also staff recruitment, we would have gotten more proposals for that. And this is other than that Indeed application, this is the only one that we've gotten, which tells me that it wasn't clear in the request for proposals that was allowable. And based on the third point I would make is that based on my conversations with candidates coming out of the police academy, they are actually looking to work for Radnor, Westchester, Chester County Police Departments. The recruitment for police officers is needed not for wealthy white districts. And this is no criticism, that isn't my point. But the data is showing that while yes, police departments are challenged, they are not as challenged in districts like Radnor. And so no disrespect to them, no lack of appreciation to them. That isn't my point. I just think we have to be really clear when we do these requests for proposals, what's allowable and what we're looking for, because otherwise it's unfair to the other departments who would have applied had they realized that was an option. So my vote in this case would be to table this one so that we can just go back and make sure that if we funded police recruitment for the other one, I'm fine with approving this one. But if we didn't, I really wonder if this is the right proposal from Radnor for us to fund. They could come back to us for something else. I think they do a national night out that we could certainly fund. So that's just my opinion.
So you're saying go back to the original RFP and look at the letter of what that really says, and does it include recruitment for paid staff?
And look at what we did in the case of the one that had an Indeed contract in there, because I don't think we funded anything. I think we turned that proposal down, but I could be completely wrong.
Well, that's why you table something.
Exactly.
And I think your point to clarity is probably the stronger point. When you think of recruiting, what are the aspects of recruiting that we probably should be adding to the RFP? So Indeed accounts, newspaper ads, physical, maybe travel time to recruiting events if you're going, places. What are we going to allow? What aren't we going to allow with regard to recruiting? Because if we don't nail it down, there will be something that we hadn't even considered that will pop up again.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. And I think and I could be wrong here, you all were part of this process before, so you would know the history better than I would. But I don't know if our goal is to offset traditional or already existing recruiting practices, or if our goal is actually to encourage the branching out of new recruitment. Because we go through this ourselves. Don't get me wrong, it would be nice to have somebody fund our already existing recruiting practices, but what we really need is funding to help expand our pool of applicants, provide training and resources so that that expanded pool of applicants can be successful on the examinations. So, yeah, getting some specificity in there about expanding the recruitment as opposed to offsetting already existing traditional recruitment. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
So you did make a motion?
Well, I think we have a motion on the table to approve it.
Okay.
So in order to table it, I think we have to, and it was seconded. So we would have to have a vote to, or a friendly amendment. Somebody would have to, oh, I guess I can do a friendly. Can I do a friendly
Well,
amendment?
motion to table would take precedence over the
Yes,
motion that's
takes-
on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Precedent over everything.
So
Sorry,
Mr.
not to
Johnson, would
step
you
on
be
your-
comfortable with us tabling this?
Yes, I'll second the motion to table it.
Okay. So can I have a vote on the motion to table the original motion? All in favor?
Uh-huh.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so that's the one that's tabled. So let's keep moving on.
Can I ask for a quick clarification?
Of course.
You expressed that this was recruitment for police officers, and yet I'm looking here and it says Upper Chichester Fire Department.
That's not the one that we just voted on.
We're on that.
We were on Radnor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had already passed that. Well,
Nope, we were still on
clarified now
Radnor.
in my
No,
mind.
not at all. That's why we ask questions. Okay. So may I have a motion to approve a $2,500 grant for Upper Chichester Fire Department, subject to county council approval?
So
Motion,
moved. Second.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve $1,423.39 reimbursement for Marcus Hook Borough Police Department, subject to county council approval?
So moved.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Super. May I have a motion to approve $2,390 grant for Lower Chichester Fire Police Association, subject to county council approval?
So moved.
Second. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
aye,
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve a $2,500 grant for the Upper Chichester Township Police Department, subject to county council approval?
so moved,
Second.
Okay, super. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve a $2,500 grant for Newtown Square Fire Department, subject to county council approval?
So moved.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Great. May I have a motion to approve a $2,500 reimbursement for the City of Chester Fire Department, subject to county council approval?
So moved.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Super.
aye,
Oh, you're abstaining. Stefan abstain. Thank you, sir. May I have a motion to approve $2,000 grant for Norwood Police Department, subject to county council approval?
so moved,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve a $2,500 grant for Upland Borough Police Department, subject to county council approval?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Thank you. Okay, so we don't need that motion to add up to $1,934.93 to the first round allocation unless we decide that this $2,500 grant or $2,219 grant for the Radnor Township Police Department will be on our next agenda. Does that make sense, Mr. Johnson?
yes.
Okay, doke.
Because I'm guessing we can't vote on it until we have another public meeting. Is that correct, Mr. Solicitor?
That is correct.
Okay,
Okay,
And
so
the Radnor ask is only for recruiting? There's.
that's my recollection, yeah. Yeah, for recruiting police officers. Do we have any public comment?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Do we have an authority comments?
I have a question about our grant process in light of the police and then now the next generation grants we've approved for 100,000. So in Paul's preliminary agenda, he had like a motion for another 31 cents. Then we realized we needed more. And so now there's a tabled motion maybe for next month for couple thousand or so. So, but I mean, if we put up this grant, for the family services and there's 200,000 worth of requests, we're just not gonna have to make discretionary decisions about who to fund and who not to. We haven't done that really. We're not making a discretionary decision to say, oh, we're gonna fund media, but not Radnor or not Newtown Square, but we are entitled to do that, I think. Is that true? Or are we? Yeah.
For the next generation, from the conversations that we had, and when you see the application, the funding says up to $10,000. So it's similar to what the foundation does, and we can make adjustments to awards based as they come in. But with the emergency services, we pretty much had a cap of $2,500, and we could match, or depending on what they were requesting, we essentially matched whatever they requested up to $2,500, and it was on a rolling basis. And we really didn't make discretionary decisions about we're not going to fund this community. We're going to fund this community. We essentially agreed to fund all of them as they came in on a first come, first served basis. So there are some slight differences.
And we didn't recommend all of the applicants to the board. Those of us who reviewed the proposals in the Google Drive that we all have access to, there were a few that, at least in the first round that I recall, we said either the entire amount they were asking for didn't legitimately meet the request for proposal guidelines, or there was some reason we weren't recommending them, but it had nothing to do with the geographic area from which they were
But it
coming.
wasn't discretionary. It was based on the criteria of
Correct.
But I'm saying,
Right.
we had the max of 2,500, but also a total max of 50,000.
Correct.
And we're inching up above that, pushing up against that. What if we had like 100,000 worth of requests?
First come, first serve.
First come, first serve.
Yeah. And the only reason that I added that, if we had approved the Radnor tonight, is that it was slightly above the allocation, and we have a tentative allocation for second round this year, but we're going to wait to see how the funding goes from the state to determine when that second round is going to launch.
But now with the next generation grants up to 100,000 that we've approved, that won't be on a first come, first serve basis. That'll be on a scratch your head and how do we really feel about these individual proposals?
I think we thought it was first come, first served.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
right?
I did too, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And so what I've been doing is I've been looking at the applications, looking at the criteria, and there have been some that have incorrectly given us $6,000 or $7,000 of expenses and essentially requested that, even though it's over $2,500. And then I go back through the application and I I recommend to all of you as the authority members the recommended amount that we should award. And in fact, Francis caught one for me where I recommended a smaller amount than because they didn't really ask for a certain amount, but they provided receipts for an amount a little bit over 2,500, but less than what I had recommended. So we made that adjustment. So thanks to Francis for looking at that.
But you're right, Ron, there's going to come a point where Mr.
We're just
Evans,
gonna say,
there's-
sorry, you came in after we had reached our max.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think so I've been kind of giving these to you on a quarterly basis, depending on how fast those come in. You may want to bring those to the board on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis rather than waiting an entire quarter like we've had for the emergency services grants. But that's at your discretion, Ron, based on the pace of the applications that are coming in.
Yeah. Okay.
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 Great, good question. Okay. And
I'll make a quick comment. I just want to thank everyone for your support. We did a great round of the emergency services grants from the fourth quarter, and we're able to go out into the community. Went to Eddystone. I didn't go to Chester, but Councilperson Womack was in Chester, and we were able to go to several different communities throughout Delaware County to show our men and women on the front lines and as far as our first responders, how much we appreciate them. So I just want to thank everyone for your support, and we look forward to, after these are approved by County Council, making that opportunity available again.
Okay. If there's no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second,
All in favor? Okay, super.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
better.
Francis. Okay,
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Seriously, your
Thank
back is important.
yes.
You looks fine to me.